Very happy to invite you here for Bombay Chamber's annual Mutual Fund Conclave. This is Tina Joy from the Bombay Chamber, welcoming you all to this very important conference. Before we start, I would like to inform you all that we have the QR code you can see on your tables. If you'll scan that, you'll get the agenda for today. Thank you. Peter Lynch, widely considered the most successful mutual fund manager ever, had once remarked, when you have a family and a house and the market is going down and you are on margin, it's probably too much pressure for you to do the right research and the right kind of thinking to make good decisions. Yes, don't we all know that investing in stock markets isn't easy? It involves planning and patience, and that's where mutual funds come in. The growth of mutual funds in India has been remarkable. We have come a long way from mutual funds sahi hai to today's times when mutual funds zaruri hai. In the last 10 years, the AUM of the mutual fund industry has increased 6 times from 10.11 trillion rupees on May 31st, 2014 to rupees 58.91 trillion on May 31st this year. Despite this progress, the industry's penetration level remains relatively low, with only a small fraction of India's 1.4 billion population investing in mutual funds. In fact, surprisingly, the number of e-commerce users and food delivery app users far exceeds the number of mutual fund investors, highlighting the vast potential for growth. It is in this background that the Bombay Chamber, under the aegis of its BFSI committee, has organized today's conclave titled India's Growth Funded by Indians. To start the day's proceedings, I now invite Ms. Pinky Mehta, President, Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and CFO Aditya Birla Capital to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning and very warm welcome to each one of you at the Mutual Fund Conclave themed Mutual Fund Conclave India's Growth Funded by Indians. I'm truly delighted to see you all, my esteemed participants gathered here today, and I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our keynote speaker, Shri Manoj Kumar, Executive Director of SEBI, and to all our esteemed panelists. With such a distinguished line of speakers, I am confident that our discussions today will be both enlightening and inspiring. A special thanks also goes to our partners HDFC AMC, our co-sponsorer, and Axis Mutual Fund, Grow and Mirai Assets Mutual Fund, our associate sponsors, for their invaluable support. Throughout its rich history, the Chamber has played an instrumental role in the development of Mumbai as a city. The Chamber has always remained committed to fostering a culture of technology and innovations, acting as a liaison between the business community and regulatory bodies to improve the ease of doing business. We have also focused on enhancing the growth through sound financial structures, all while ensuring that such growth is sustainable, equitable, and inclusive. As a chamber, we consistently bring together leaders from India Inc. and collaborate with the government and regulatory authorities. Our mission encompasses 4 pivotal aspects: embracing digitalizations, bringing ESG to the heart of business, enhancing ease of doing business, and fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion. In line with this mission, we have organized several seminars, webinars, conclaves, and conferences across multiple sectors, from BFSI to sustainability, agriculture, diversity and inclusions, taxations, and legal services, among others. Today's Mutual Fund Conclave is focused on the burgeoning the mutual fund sector in India. According to Moody's latest report, India's economic growth forecast stands at an impressive 7.1%, which is significantly fueled an interest in investment products like mutual funds. Over the years, mutual funds have emerged as one of the most accessible investment options for retail investors in our country. The journey of the mutual fund industry has been remarkable. It took nearly 50 years to accumulate rupees 10 lakhs crores in asset under management from 1963 to 2013. However, in just 6 short years, this figure surged to 23 lakhs crores by 2019. As of August 2024, AUM has tripled to an astonishing 66.70 lakhs crores, showcasing the strong confidence investors have in this sector. In fact, the assets managed by the mutual fund industry rose by an impressive 40.70% over the past year, climbing from 46.94 lakhs crores in August 2023 to 66.04 lakhs crores in August this year, as reported by the Association of Mutual Funds in India. This remarkable growth is largely driven by an increase in retail investors' participations, particularly in equity schemes. It's worth noting that India's mutual fund industry is now nearly twice the size of Pakistan GDP, reflecting our country's robust economic landscape. Recognizing this expanding market, Securities and Exchange Board of India has introduced a simplified regulatory framework for launching passive mutual fund schemes known as MF Lite. This initiative aims to reduce the compliance burden and encourage new entrants into the mutual fund space. We have two highly engaging panels today: the journey from 4 crores to 50 crores investors and wealth creations to AIF and PMS, and a fireside chat on the guardrails for the growing mutual fund industry, where we have some of the biggest industry experts to explore the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead in this evolving landscape. I look forward to the engaging conversations that will help to shape and future of the mutual fund in India. Thank you once again for being here, and let's make most of this wonderful opportunity together. I now invite Mr. Nilesh Shah, past President, Bombay Chamber, and the Group President and MD, Kotak Mahindra AMC, to set the theme for this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Pinky. Manoj Bhai, Executive Director, SEBI, Swaroop, Ashish, Lalit, and ladies and gentlemen. Every industry should have a North Star. What should be North Star for mutual fund industry? 60 lakh crore AUM, well, that's not good enough. 5 crore investors, not sufficient. If you look at in the context of India, there is huge amount of inequality. Can mutual fund be the vehicle to reduce inequality? Can mutual fund aim to ensure that every Indian will be financially secured? Why mutual fund? Well, this is one industry where interest of distributor, manufacturer, and the investor is aligned. There's no charity business like NPS, where there's nothing for manufacturer. And at the same time, there is no overweightage towards distributor and manufacturer like some other industry. This is the sustainable model where distributor, manufacturer, and investor comes together for the pursuit of economic freedom. The second thing, to raise money, there are various ways. But the most important thing is to manage the trust of the investors. And we have a regulator who has ensured that investors' trust and confidence in the industry remains intact. At every stage, regulations has evolved to ensure that investor trust and confidence remains intact. Today, our disclosure standards our transparency is far better than Western world. We can actually teach some of the Western world regulators how to govern the industry. And then the most important thing which comes into play is need for financial security. FY21 to FY23, we witnessed one of the biggest bull run in equity market. Of all the Indian households, you, me, and everyone put together, 4 lakh crore rupee was invested into mutual funds. 2 lakh crore rupee came into direct equity, bonds, debentures, and other capital market instruments. 9 lakh crore went into currency notes. आज तक किसी ने घर पे पैसों के झाड़ उगते देखे नहीं हैं. बट भारत में उन लोगों की कमी नहीं है जो ये बिलीव करते हैं कि करेंसी नोट घर पे रखेंगे तो पैसों के झाड़ उगेंगे. उन सभी लोगों को हमें कन्विंस करना है कि भाई ये पैसा म्यूचुअल फंड में लगा दे, आज नहीं तो कल देर सवेर पैसा बन जाएगा. 93% of financial savings of Indian household goes in products like bank deposits, insurance, pension, currency notes, and small savings. Collectively, they don't outperform inflation. Only 7% investment is made in mutual funds, direct equities, and capital market securities, which can outperform inflation and provide real return over a period of time. If you are running marathon using 7% of your lung capacity, how will you complete marathon? No wonder Indians are not financially secured. No wonder there is such large amount of inequality. Jan-Dhan account provided banking to people, banking to bottom of the pyramid. But we need Jan Nivesh so that that savings is allocated towards real return products. Many a times we feel education is paneka for financial literacy. Well, there can't be anything wrong than that. India's most educated state is Kerala. And for years and for decades, they have invested more money in lottery than they have invested in equities. How do we go and convince educated Keralite that in the lottery business, 10 out of 10 lottery seller will make money? The day they start losing money and lottery buyer starts making money, the business will be shut. But yet, the most literate state of India is unable to understand this decades after decades, decades after decades, year after years. We have to reach out to this set of people so that they become financially empowered. Many a times we say, well, the oldies like us are the past and the future is India's young generation. Undoubtedly, yes, youth is the future. But we have seen India's youth getting misdirected in the world of investment. 18 crore Indians traded in cryptos and lost money. Majority of them were young people. F&O trading, where 9 out of 10 people lose money. Bulk of it is driven by India's youth. So undoubtedly, there is a need for mutual fund industry to have the North Star. We will ensure that future is secured for every Indian economically through the mutual fund. It's a long journey. It will have many ups and downs. But if we stick to it, I'm sure over a period of time, we will be able to provide economic freedom to every Indian. And trust me, it will be no less than 1947 freedom struggle, where we got political freedom. Now we will have economical freedom. I hope today's deliberation leads us towards that North Star. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. That has definitely set the tone for today's deliberations on the role of mutual funds in India's growth story. Our keynote speaker for today's conclave is Mr. Manoj Kumar, Executive Director, SEBI. Before inviting him on the dais, a brief introduction about him. Mr. Manoj Kumar has been associated with SEBI for more than 27 years. As an Executive Director, he is currently heading the Investment Management Department of SEBI. He has earlier handled market regulations, integrated surveillance, market intermediaries regulation, and supervision departments at SEBI. He has been associated with key SEBI initiatives such as Accounting Standards Committee, chaired by Y.H. Malegam, Corporate Governance Committee, chaired by Narayana Murthy. He has been a member of the core group that successfully designed and implemented integrated market surveillance system. Currently, he is a member secretary of the Mutual Funds Advisory Committee as well. He is a SEBI representative on the Committee on Investment Management of the International Organization of Securities Commissions and has also worked at IFSCA as an executive director. He holds a postgraduate in science and MBA. Distinguished guests, please put your hands together as I now invite Mr. Manoj Kumar on the dais to deliver the keynote address.
So I was wondering, generally, we are not used to of this much of respect. I was wondering that in front of my name only there is Shri, others there is no salutation. So I was slightly surprised that why a regulator is being given so much of respect. Thank you, Madam, for inviting me. Thank you, Nilesh bhai. There are many friends from AMCs who regularly we are used to interacting with. Others, I have been told that there are many distributors who are really the backbone for this industry, and various people from part of these chambers. So I must compliment the Bombay chambers that the theme of this today's conclave is really very interesting and very timely. Because if you see the overall journey of the capital market, which Nilesh bhai outlined also, there are three core revolutions which have truly happened in the market. One was when we moved from physical trading in ring to a electronic trading system. That was a tremendous journey, and nowhere in the world we have seen where simultaneously 18 stock exchanges were brought into an electronic mode, and that changed the structure of the Indian market. And the another revolution which took place was when we took an initiative of dematerialization. We all know that how the entire community used to struggle with the physical shares. That led to a lot of issues surrounding the movement of the shares as well as settlement. So the way we have dealt with dematerialization and electronic trading, that has really changed the structure of Indian securities market. And the next biggest revolution which has happened is the mutual fund. Today, if you see everywhere you go, wherever you go, वो म्यूचुअल फंड सही है का लोगो आपको दिखाई देता है, which is really catching. Or wherever you go, any place, people talk about SIP, which is just like, see, this is a term which has become a very generic term. People will not understand what is SIP, but you talk to people, they will tell you, yes, there is SIP, mutual fund में जाना है, तो SIP का रास्ता अपनाना है. So this is how they take this. But if you see this overall journey, as previous speakers have outlined, it has taken a lot of efforts, not only part at the regulator, but also at your level, because unless industry comes together and try to reform, nothing happens. Because all of us know when we started this mutual fund journey, people were convinced with ELSS. वो टैक्स बचाना है तो ELSS में लगा देंगे, बस उतना ही म्यूचुअल फंड होना चाहिए, not beyond that. But now you see how much forthcoming industry is through their structured approach. Lot many innovations have happened, and whenever industry thrives, regulator has to strive, because see, industry moves very fast, and you all know that often we are criticized that as a regulator we move very slow. But this is one area where from a regulatory perspective also, lot of changes have happened over a period of time. And these changes are possible only through an active collaboration which we had from the industry. Without that, probably it is not possible for anybody to make such a big changes. And from that perspective, I must compliment AMFI, because as an industry body, we rarely see such a proactive industry body which will act like a semi or quasi regulator, which helps. Generally, industry bodies are not keen to reform themselves. I am especially mentioning because I am talking at a platform of one of the oldest industry body. So industry bodies are known to protect the interest of their members, but full compliments to AMFI, which has not only tried to reform itself, but it has supported the regulatory initiatives. And I am sure that now Mr. Navneet Munot is heading AMFI, and AMFI is embarking on 2.0 journey, which will be more interesting, and it will really help in a lot of changes. Having said this, probably neither the AMFI nor SEBI would have been able to do much unless we have a support from distribution community. Because mutual fund को अगर घर-घर पहुंचाना है, तो everywhere you need to have distribution network, and that entity has also served the purpose very well. Because today, if you go any part of the country, you will find distributors active. Distributors are doing good work. Some of the distributors are not doing that much of good work, where we as a regulator are keeping a very keen eye, because when you are into a regulated business, you have to ensure that certain basic standards are fulfilled. So I am sure that going forward, distribution community, which has also groomed itself very well, they will also try to align with the regulatory perspectives of us and AMFI, whatever they articulate to them, because AMFI is directly supervising them. Now, having said this, if you have noticed that in the recent past, we have made a lot of changes. Regulatory perspective has been articulated, and a lot of changes have taken place. And sometimes we are criticized that changes are too fast. But if you see the growth of the industry, Madam mentioned that in 10 years, AUM has gone to 68 lakh crore. So if you are touching in 10 years 68 lakh crores, then regulator also has to move very fast. So that's why if you grow in terms of AUM, we also try to grow in terms of regulation. Because the entire industry is based on the trust. If the trust is eroded at any level, then whatever we have built will definitely have no meaning, and a lot of struggle will happen. So I urge all of you that whenever we bring any regulatory changes, it is from that perspective. Now, some of you will be hurt in the process, but overall objective is not to hurt anybody. The objective is to help everybody. And when I say this, we have a very wonderful past. I mentioned just now electronic trading and dematerialization. People used to criticize us that you are making a very fast change, it will hamper the industry. But you see the outcome of those two changes. So similarly, in the mutual fund area, whatever changes we are trying to do, though it may look very fast, but these are very, very essential, because the way the industry is growing, changes in terms of regulatory expectations have to match that pace. And that's why we are doing a lot of changes. And these changes, when we do, we have a very active process of consultation. We consult with everybody. Industry people are there. We even venture out to discuss with distributors also. We go out and discuss with investors also. And then we try to take a very holistic view. And as Madam mentioned about recent changes of MF Lite, you would have all heard. Why we have done it? Because we realize that the way the industry is growing, we need more players in this area. And how to bring that? One is that you make the overall compliance burden slightly lighter, so that more people are encouraged to come. But when we have done this lighter side, we have not forgotten our regulatory responsibility. That one way we are making it light, other way we are ensuring that basic compliance standards should be adhered to by everybody. So from that perspective, we brought this MF Lite. Same time, you would have heard about a new asset class. Now somebody was asking me that new asset class is a little bit confusing. But the objective is very simple. We realize that in the market, our regulatory experience is that lot of unauthorized activities are happening at a lower end of the market, where people are trying to demonstrate that they are the registered PMS and they are collecting money and they are doing this activity. For us as a regulator, the simple way is that we act, we take action. But since we are development-oriented regulator, we thought that why people are doing this type of activity. This means that there is a need in the market. And if there is a need in the market, how to ensure that that need is addressed by bringing the things into a regulatory fold. And from that perspective, we started. Now, there can be n number of debates that why we have said 10 lakhs, why not 25 lakhs, why not 50 lakhs. But our assessment is that this quantum has been fixed after a lot of discussion. And to fill the gap, which is causing a regulatory challenge for us. From that perspective, it has been fixed. Now, there are heartburns at, similar to you people in AMC are feeling elated, but there are other friends in PMS and AIF who are feeling a little bit hurt. But the overall structure which we are trying to create, and sooner you will find our circulars or regulatory amendments surrounding this, is that all these PMS and AIF players should also be facilitated to be onboarded into this structure. So both in MF Lite structure as well as in this new asset class. So from a regulatory perspective, we are not making any distinction. Only thing is that since this new asset class is slightly riskier proposition, because the way we are making it open and liberal, it requires a very balanced regulatory structure of governance. That's why, if you see, mutual funds are slightly more regulated and their governance structure is slightly more robust. So that's why it is essential for us to bring the new product, which is having a little bit liberalized structure, into this well-governed structure. So from that perspective, this entire thing was brought into mutual fund framework. People are confused. Maybe over a period of time, they will understand that why we have brought it into this. If you notice that apart from that, we are also working very closely with the industry to ensure that right now our unique PAN who are investing in mutual fund is 4.5 odd crores, which is nothing. You see, we are 140 crore population and hardly 4.5 crores or हम लोग उसको भी celebrate कर रहे हैं. So this means that we have not been able to reach where we want to reach. And mutual fund is one vehicle which will ensure this. This is our belief, and I think industry has also demonstrated that they have a tremendous reach, and they have a products which can encourage investors to come into the system and invest in this financial journey. Towards this objective, we are trying to design a SIP which is a small ticket. When I say small ticket, I am not at all suggesting that there are no SIPs right now which are smaller in size. We are aiming at 250 rupees SIP. And why I am saying this is because our experience is that the working which we have done with the industry, that anything below 500 is not very viable. So that's why we are trying to make 250 rupees SIP viable. And in this, we are very grateful that not only AMCs, but also the other associated key players in the industry like your KRAs, your QRTAs, exchanges, they have also come forward to support this initiative. Because unless you bring the cost of operation down, you will not encourage large number of participation in the market. So SIP of 250 rupees is aiming to bring that cost structure down and encourage people to come into this mutual fund journey. And we are very sure that with the active cooperation which you have extended to us in our journey so far, we will be able to meet out the expectations of the market at a large in terms of 250 rupees SIP. Now, we are working on many other issues which are, some are slightly not very interesting for the industry. Like for example, we have requested that can we have an institutional framework for supervision? Yes, with lot of interactive sessions, industry has come forward and they have structured a very good model for supervision at a AMC level. And why it is required? Because everything, if we leave on regulator, then I am sure that many gaps will be left in oversight function. And since you sit very close to the investor, you sit very close to the market, you are well equipped to deal with the problems at a very initial stage. Otherwise, those problems become too large, and then you will find a regulator coming and trying to create some regulatory framework which may not only be challenging for all of you, but it may disrupt the entire market ecosystem sometimes. This is our experience. So that's why we encouraged the industry, and again, we must compliment that despite initial hesitation, finally the proposal was accepted, and we are very happy that all of you are working on this, and soon we will find that at a AMC level, lot many actions and efforts will result into a setup where these type of practices which are not desirable can be taken care of. We urge that same sort of standards should be adopted by the distributors, because distributors are a very core link into this entire system. If they allow something which is not a desirable conduct for this market to creep into the system, then it becomes very difficult for all of us. Then probably we have to act, AMFI has to act, AMCs have to act. So it is always better that distributors, when they start handholding their clients, they should adopt a very fair practices. And from that perspective, going forward, we will urge distributor community also to come forward and try to create some model surrounding a self-governance or self-supervision type of structure, because that will help and that will develop the trust amongst the investor. From that perspective only, we are also interacting with the industry, that how industry can play a very proactive role in ensuring stewardship compliances. They are doing it. Code is already there. Industry is working on that. Soon we will see that, because you are all custodian of a large amount of investor interest, and that interest needs to be protected. How it has to be done, soon you will hear from our side when through AMFI we will announce some measures surrounding this area. Now, other aspects which probably I can leave with you and you can think as a whole, because these are certain reforms which all of you are aware. Apart from a governance perspective, we have done away with certain sponsor relaxations and AMC's role and trustees' role. So those are larger issues which we will keep on reforming as we go forward. But I think there are certain measures where we have seen a very less traction. Like, for example, execution-only platform is one area we thought that this is one key development which will help us in reaching to the nooks and corners of this country. So we expect that industry will take some measures proactively to ensure that this initiative should also be taken forward, because unless you adopt technology in a great way, probably we will not be able to do justice to the inclusion, financial inclusion, which we all aim for. And though we have adopted technology in a very proactive manner, but still a lot needs to be done surrounding the technology, particularly for a penetration in the country. So here we feel that if we have more focused approach and try to, one of these conferences sometime back, we referred as a regulator that we are doing away with B30, and so people misquoted that. So we suspended B30, but that time we promised that we will come out with a very reformed structure for B30. So that structure is almost ready, though we have taken a little bit of time. Some blame goes to us, some blame goes to you. So both of us have to shoulder that. But now we are in a very advanced stage where we will come out with a much cleaner approach how to enhance the penetration in the country. Apart from this, if you see from a onboarding perspective, we have, some of you may not be aware of those measures, but we have taken many measures. So what I was mentioning was, still there is an echo, probably Anil Singhvi Sahab has come, that's why this audio systems are going slightly higher. So what I was trying to say is that regulatory ease of operation is also very important. And from that perspective, when people who are interacting with us, our processes internally are very fast. Earlier we were taking huge amount of time in giving you certain clearances, but now those who have recently interacted with us, probably they will vouch that we are faster. Still, there is a lot of scope. Like, for example, your SID gets clear faster. It doesn't take much time unless you have done some template tempering. We will be faster. Because when you do some tempering, then we get confused as a regulator. So we have reduced considerably the time. From an ease of doing business perspective, lot of relaxations we are giving. Some are known to market, like, for example, if somebody comes for AMC registration, then that process, earlier we were taking a lot of time. Today we have reduced it drastically, and going forward you will find that this MF Lite framework or the new asset class framework, all this will be much faster because we are much clearer about the objective, so our processing will also be internally very fast. We have opened a fast track mechanism for said clearance. Unfortunately, people are not adopting it. Why? Probably they feel that there is a lot of responsibility on them as far as fast track is concerned. But if you want a faster clearance, some responsibility has to be taken by you. We are taking a huge responsibility by clearing you, because ultimately if anything goes haywire, then we are answerable in many forums. So please adopt that fast track. Last time also we asked the industry that you adopt that channel. That channel is much cleaner and it gives a lot of comfort to us when you do your self due diligence. It helps us in ensuring to give you a fast clearance. So maybe going forward we will find more traction surrounding this fast clearance. Your SIDs will be very fast to be cleared by us, and that is our objective, and we will do it. Similarly, your registration processes, your other approval processes, we have put a very robust internal SOP. When I say robust internal SOP, it doesn't mean that robust means that clearance will take time. Robust means that there should not be much confusion surrounding the desk who are dealing with your proposals. So they will be faster in giving you clearance. So these are some of the initiatives which we have taken, and idea of participating in this type of conclave is to hear more from your side, because whatever we feel right we do. In our thinking it is right, but in your thinking it may not be right. So instead of you criticizing us in some other forum, regulator itself is present before you. You can mention issues which are concerning you. We will definitely try to look at all those issues. You can do it in this type of forum. You can do it through your industry forum, because we believe that the journey has just begun. Though we may all say that we have reached, we have covered a lot of distance, but still a large number of work needs to be done as far as mutual fund industry is concerned. And for that, you have to be proactive and cooperative and support us. We will not be lagging behind. You come with the proposal, you will find a very faster approach for disposal. If disposal is delayed, I am available, our teams are available, anybody can reach us. We will try to make things simpler for you. With these words, I am very grateful that all of you have given a very patient hearing. I have very little to say, because you see, this journey has been possible because of you only. हम तो उसमें थोड़ा if and but लगा के उसको थोड़ा refine करते रहते हैं. बाकी it is full credit to you, full compliments to you, and hopefully when next time chamber invites me, you invite after every year, or you so next year when you invite us from a regulatory side, probably we will be reaching AUM of she thinks 70, I don't know as a regulator where we will reach. With these words, thank you very much.
Would you like to take a few questions? Would you like to take one or two? Just a couple of questions? Yes? Yeah. Yeah. Mike, please. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir, for this very enlightening and informative session. But we'll have a few questions. Yeah. Mike? So would like to take the podium.
Good morning. First of all, thank you very much for giving a good insight. See, I am a mutual fund distributor. I genuinely appreciate the efforts which regulator is taking to take care of investor, because we all believe that at the end of the day, this industry is all about investors, wealth creation journey. While we say this, the step of encouraging direct investments, which is I feel given much hype towards the saving of cost, but at the same time, I think we are genuinely compromising on the way investors are looking at direct plans. They genuinely don't have that kind of intellectual to understand which plan to select basis their requirements, their risk reward appetite, and their time frame of making that kind of investments. We all have, with all due respect, we all have seen the intellectual of our Indian investors with highest contribution towards Dream 11 participation, or FNO, all these things, we know that key investors have typical mindset of chasing returns, while they ignore the other side of the coin, which is risk management. So if at all we want to continue this practice of encouraging direct plan investments, I feel SEBI has a lot of, emphasizing on distributors, having certain kind of qualifications. Like we have to give MFD exams, every periodic interval. Why can't we introduce this kind of certification or this kind of exams for investors who are willing to have a direct participation? Only those investors who are qualified to participate as a direct investor, I think those investors should only be allowed to make direct investments. Otherwise, I think they don't deem fit to make a choice for their own funds, because results we all have seen, and I'm sure this mutual fund guys will give you data that how direct investors, what kind of longevity the direct investors have. So I think SEBI as a regulator should genuinely think about this.
Very good question. We are genuinely thinking about this. After thinking only, we have brought this structure. And we expect this type of question from the distributor. There is no problem for us. Still, Nilesh bhai may be having data, or maybe Mr. Navneet, Munot may be having. Direct plans are not that successful. Still, people are going through distributor, because what I mentioned earlier also, this is the entire trust industry. If people trust you, they will come to you. If people don't trust, let them go direct. What is the problem? We are still 4.5 crores only, not much.
No, honestly, we are not concerned about direct plan. In fact, we appreciate that at the end of the day, if margins come down in terms of cost, investor will end up making more money. And I belong to that kind of community of MFD where I feel that the charging should be lowest possible, and it should be allowing the fair play of longevity. That is what my main point is. But unfortunately, direct investors are only chasing returns. That is the main concern.
So, see, as a regulator, we have no view on this. You are free to chase whatever you want to chase. Investor want to chase return, let them chase return. We want to create a structure which is fair to everybody. And that is what we have tried to do. We have given options. If investor is willing to come with the distributor, there are large number of investors who are still with the distributor. And I am sure, that's why I mentioned that going forward without the distribution network, we will not be able to reach the financial inclusion through mutual fund industry. We have to do that. And that distributors have played a very key role. Now we cannot put restriction on investors who want to go direct. Let them go direct. So I don't see from a regulatory perspective there is any discomfort. We want to open, like for example, tomorrow somebody will say, why you have created an MF light structure? Right? Why you have created a new asset class? So these are all choices which we have to provide to the investing community without disrupting the ecosystem. That is what we have tried to do that. And I think that going forward, when next year I will come on this conclave, probably the numbers will change. Today, numbers for direct investment is not very encouraging. Right? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kumar. I would request you to stay on stage as I invite Ms. Pinky Mehta, President Bombay Chamber, to give you a small token of appreciation. So if you can just come ahead. A photograph, please, ma'am, first. Yeah. Photograph. You can stand here, yeah. Thank you once again, Mr. Kumar, for this, for the very enlightening session. A huge round of applause for Mr. Kumar. We appreciate taking the time out, sir. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Coming up next is a fireside chat on guardrails for a growing mutual fund sector. For this interesting dialogue, we invite our guests, Mr. Anil Singhvi, Managing Editor, Z Business, and Mr. Navneet Munot, Board Member, Bombay Chamber, and Chairman, AMFI, and MD and CEO, HDFC AMC. A huge round of applause for fireside chat guests.
गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। मुझे बॉम्बे चैम्बर्स ऑफ कॉमर्स में पहली बार आने का मौका मिला है और इस म्यूचुअल फंड कॉन्क्लेव में एमएफआई चेयरमैन और एचडीएफसी म्यूचुअल फंड के एमडी सीईओ नवनीत मुनोत साहब मेरे साथ हैं और मैं लगभग 97-98 उस ज़माने में मैं म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन किया करता था। तब शायद इंडस्ट्री बहुत ही छोटी थी, नहीं के बराबर थी। और आज जब इंडस्ट्री 60 लाख करोड़ के ऊपर निकल चुकी है, नवनीत जी, नंबर ऑफ इन्वेस्टर्स म्यूचुअल फंड में लाइफ टाइम हाई पर है, एसआईपी इनफ्लो लाइफ टाइम हाई पर है, आपकी इंडस्ट्री का एयूएम लाइफ हाई पर है और सारे फंड्स के प्रॉफिट भी आई एम श्योर लाइफ हाई पर है।
वो उतने नहीं बढ़ रहे हैं जितना एयूएम बढ़ रहा है।
तो उसके लिए मनोज कुमार साहब शायद आपको रिलैक्सेशन देंगे। सर, इनकी मतलब कंप्लेन तो नहीं
इन्होंने
लेकिन
बोला
point
सब कुछ हाइपर है, प्रॉफिट्स भी इतने ही बढ़ रहे हैं। मैंने कहा प्रॉफिट इतनी तेज गति से नहीं बढ़ रहे हैं जितना एयूएम बढ़ रहा है।
बट मार्केट कैप एचडीएफसी म्यूचुअल फंड का लाइफ हाई पर है। सो सो पॉइंट ये है कि जब सब कुछ बढ़िया है, सब कुछ लाइफ हाई पर है, तो आपकी इंडस्ट्री के लिए एज ए एमएफआई चेयरमैन आपको क्या लगता है सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज क्या है इस वक्त?
सो एक तो टाइटल बहुत अच्छा है। एज ए बीसीसीआई बोर्ड मेंबर आई फील वेरी गुड दैट वी हैव बीन डूइंग दिस म्यूचुअल फंड कॉन्क्लेव, विल कंटिन्यू टू डू दैट। एंड अगले साल भी मिस्टर मनोज कुमार ने बोला कि इंडस्ट्री नई ऊंचाइयों पर होगी। सो श्योर सर, वी विल कंटिन्यू टू वर्क हार्ड। सो द टाइटल इज इंडियाज ग्रोथ फंडेड बाय इंडियंस। तो बोलता हूँ that my grandfather lived in like 40s, 50s, 60s and he had to rely on the wheat which was left over of United States under PL 480. हम लोग वो situation में थे 60s में. My father lived in 50s, 60s, 70s where foreign grant was necessary for the well-being of Indians. We have, Nilesh bhai, we have worked in an era where every entrepreneur in India, आपको venture capital चाहिए, private equity चाहिए, IPO करना है, anchor करना है, तो you only go to foreign investors. And my kids will live in an India जहाँ पर विश्व की बड़ी MNCs इंडिया से पैसा रेस करेगी और हम लोग यहाँ पर रिटेल इन्वेस्टर से 2300 रुपीस पर मंथ की SIP से पैसा रेस कर रहे हैं. तो व्हाट अ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन वी हैव सीन इन द कंट्री. नीलेश भाई बता रहे थे 1947 में वी गॉट द political independence. The true economic independence came in like 1991 with the liberalization and globalization. In some manner, 2014 was like another watershed because 1 billion people got added to the mainstream financial system with the Jan Dhan Yojana. और अब हम प्राइड लेते हैं, ऐसा कोई सरकार की योजना नहीं है, लेकिन हम प्राइड करते हैं कि एक तरह से एक जन निवेश का माहौल बन गया है. और 5 करोड़, आई थिंक मेरे ख्याल में सितंबर डेटा 1-2 दिन में आएगा, शायद ऐसा लगता है 5 विल क्रॉस 5 करोड़ यूनिक इन्वेस्टर्स, बट वी हैव अ लॉन्ग वे टू गो. एंड आई थिंक दी आपने चैलेंज पूछा तो in a way that I think the industry has a long way to go. We are all working very hard. Mr. Manoj Kumar was very benevolent when he said that आप सब लोग मेहनत कर रहे हैं, हम तो थोड़ा बहुत if and but लगा देते हैं. लेकिन सर आपकी your guidance and your support has been extraordinary for the industry and will continue to work very, very hard with all the stakeholders.
So in last 4 years, आपका AUM भी बहुत बड़ा है. कोविड के बाद नए इन्वेस्टर्स भी बहुत आए हैं. ये सारे म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्टमेंट्स को भले आप कितना भी कहें सही हैं, वो सही हैं वाला शब्द तो सुन लेते हैं, याद कर लेते हैं, लेकिन आगे की जो 2 लाइन आप बोलते हैं कि सब्जेक्ट टू मार्केट रिस्क, बोलो इतना कौन सुने, इतना कौन याद रखे, राइट. सो उन्हें फील ये होता है कि ये मार्केट वैसा एक जो FD की तरह है, हमेशा बढ़ेगा, कभी घटेगा नहीं. फर्स्ट टाइम शायद थोड़ा स्ट्रेस हो रहा होगा अभी. आप एज अ इंडस्ट्री, म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री, म्यूचुअल फंड्स, इस सिचुएशन को कैसे टैकल करेंगे जब पहली बार जो फर्स्ट टाइम इन्वेस्टर उसे जब लॉस लगने लगेगा, तो और यहाँ पे काफ़ी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स हैं, उन्हें कैसे अपने क्लाइंट्स को हैंडल करना है, क्योंकि इंडस्ट्री का मुझे लगता है इस वक्त सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज शायद ये है जो इन्वेस्टर्स एक फेथ के साथ आए, होप के साथ आए, ट्रस्ट के साथ आए कि हम बहुत पैसा बनाएंगे. पहली बार जब उन्हें नुकसान होगा, उसे कैसे हैंडल करना है?
सो म्यूचुअल फंड में नुकसान होगा मतलब म्यूचुअल फंड्स आर सब्जेक्ट टू मार्केट रिस्क आपने बोला, लेकिन दूसरा नहीं बोला अगर इन्वेस्ट नहीं किया तो आपका रिटायरमेंट कैसे होगा, वो बड़ी रिस्क है. सो वी हैव टू हाईलाइट दैट ऑल्सो. लार्ज नंबर ऑफ इंडियंस हम लोग एक डेवलप्ड कंट्री बन जाएंगे 2047 या शायद उससे पहले भी. फ्रॉम एन साइज ऑफ इकॉनमी मे बी पर कैपिटा जीडीपी वो लेवल पर नहीं पहुंचेगी इन अ 1.4 बिलियन पीपल कि रिटायरमेंट गवर्नमेंट सिक्योर कर सकती है सबका. वो तभी होगा जब कैपिटल मार्केट में पार्टिसिपेशन होगा, लोग रिस्क असेट्स खरीदेंगे. तो वो एक बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. आपने सही कहा, हमारे यूनिक इन्वेस्टर्स 1 करोड़ के आसपास थे 2019 में. 2020 में करीब वो 2 करोड़ के आसपास हो गए ड्यूरिंग द ईयर, एंड देन नाउ वी आर टचिंग 5 करोड़. तो ये जो 3 करोड़ इन्वेस्टर्स आए हैं उन्होंने एक बड़ा डीप करेक्शन नहीं देखा. आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो. एंड मैं कई बार देखता हूँ अनिल जी, आप बोलते हो आपका सुबह सुबह राष्ट्र के नाम संदेश में कि 2% 1% बाजार गिरता है तो लोग कहते हैं बहुत मंदी आ गई है, बेयर मार्केट. मतलब हमने ऐसा मार्केट देखा है जहाँ पे 2003 to 2007 सेंसेक्स वेंट अप फ्रॉम 3000 to 21,000, बट 10% के करेक्शन तो 6-7 बार हुए थे. और 2004 में, 6 में, 8 में तो बहुत डीप करेक्शन हुआ था. सो वो तो बाजार में होना ही है. हर साल तो हम 50-60% स्मॉल कैप में या मिड कैप फंड्स में नहीं दे पाएंगे, तो वो तो कभी ना कभी मीन रिवर्जन होगा ही. बट एक चीज़ बहुत अच्छी है कि ज़्यादातर इन्वेस्टर्स जो आ रहे हैं वो लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए आ रहे हैं. पहले ऐसा होता था, आपने बोला कि इंडस्ट्री में आप 90s से थे, तो आपको खाली एक नंबर बताता हूँ बाय द वे. 67 लाख करोड़ का जो AUM है 2002 में खाली 1 लाख करोड़ था. 2002 में नीलेश भाई जब हम फंड मैनेजर्स थे, स्वरूप हमारे को बेचते थे, तब 1 लाख करोड़ का AUM था. 2014 में 10 लाख करोड़ का AUM था. और पिछले एक साल में वी हैव एडेड मोर AUM देन व्हाट वी कलेक्टेड ओवर सेवरल decades 10 years back. और एक और इंटरेस्टिंग, द इक्विटी AUM यहाँ पर लाइक हमारा 5 लाख करोड़ से ज़्यादा है HDFC में. टोटल इंडस्ट्री का इक्विटी AUM 2 लाख करोड़ था 2014 में, टोटल इंडस्ट्री का. नाउ यू आर सो मेनी प्लेयर्स हु हैव more than 2 lakh crores of AUM, and industry has such a high. But the best part is, and I think our entire campaign, whether it's an AMFI or each fund house, is determined that we sell it in the right manner. So why the industry did not grow for a long time? Because हर बार ऐसा होता था, this is like a bull market product. मतलब लेना है और वापस बेचना है. अभी बिल्कुल डिफरेंट है. ज़्यादातर SIPs जो आजकल आती हैं वो परपिचुअल SIPs आती है. लोग एंड डेट ही नहीं डालते हैं, बिकॉज लोगों को पता है कि 10 साल, 20 साल, 30 साल, 40 साल तो निवेश करना है, और उसके बाद रिटायरमेंट के लिए जब पैसा चाहिएगा या और कोई गोल के लिए पैसा चाहिएगा तब लेंगे. कुछ फिर भी निवेशक होंगे, कोई सेक्टर थीमेटिक फंड में कोई रिस्क ले रहे हैं या कहीं और रिस्क ले रहे हैं जो एक शॉर्ट टर्म ट्रेड देख रहे हैं. बट ज़्यादातर निवेशक मुझे लगता है, और बल्क ऑफ द पैसा जो इंडस्ट्री में आ रहा है वो SIP के जरिए आ रहा है, बहुत छोटे टिकट का आ रहा है. और मेरे ख्याल में इंडस्ट्री इन्वेस्टर अवेयरनेस पर बहुत काम कर रही है. वी ऑल ऑफ अस टेक लॉट ऑफ प्राइड इन दैट.
लेकिन आज भी जितने नए क्या कहना चाहिए, जितने नए लोग कोई क्रिकेट के गेमिंग में जा रहे हैं, क्रिप्टो में जा रहे हैं, उसके कंपैरिजन में म्यूचुअल फंड में बहुत कम है. शायद लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड नहीं, क्योंकि म्यूचुअल फंड में अगर आपको 100 रुपये भी इन्वेस्ट करने हैं तो पूरा KYC और वो सारा प्रोसेस होता है, वहाँ पर कुछ भी है. तो ये
वहाँ भी KYC है बाय द वे. सो ऐसा मैंने सुना है, लोग कहते हैं कि क्रिप्टो में 10 करोड़ लोग क्रिप्टो में पे करते हैं. 25 करोड़ से ज़्यादा लोग गेमिंग ऐप पर हैं जिनकी KYC हुई है.
सो चैलेंज ये है कि उन सबको म्यूचुअल फंड में लेके आना है, राइट? Because they want to invest, they want to make money, but they want to make money little faster. वो greed factor कम करके क्या AMFI या फिर आपकी इंडस्ट्री क्या कर रही है कि किस तरह से उनकी सेविंग को रियली इन्वेस्टमेंट की तरफ लाएं बजाय स्पेकुलेशन के?
सो कई लोग कहते हैं कि आपका कंपटीशन है. आज मेरे ख्याल में शायद 17-18 करोड़ अगर डिमैट अकाउंट है तो नीलेश भाई यूनिक 8-9 करोड़ होंगे अंदाज, डबल समझ लो तो. और हमारे तो 5 ही करोड़ हैं. लोग इतना F&O कर रहे हैं, लोग गेमिंग ऐप पे हैं, लोग क्रिप्टो में हैं, लोग और कुछ जो अनरजिस्टर्ड स्कीम्स में हैं. तो कई बार ऐसा लगता है, लोग कहते हैं कि आप तो बहुत छोटे. मुझे एक लगता है कि आप अगर एक अंडरलाइंग ट्रेंड देखो, सोसाइटी चेंज हो रही है. सोसाइटी व्हाट इट शोज इज पीपल वांट टू मेक मनी, पीपल वांट टू गेट रिच, पीपल वांट टू टेक मोर रिस्क विद देयर मनी, एंड विच इज़ अ वेरी गुड ट्रेंड फॉर अस. हमारे लिए तो इससे अच्छा और कोई ट्रेंड हो ही नहीं सकता है. और लोगों को चिंता है उनके रिटायरमेंट की, लोगों को चिंता है कि अगर हमने पैसा नहीं बचाया, पैसा अगर नहीं लगाया इसमें तो पैसे नहीं बनेंगे, विच इज़ अ वेरी गुड ट्रेंड. अब हमारा काम इतना सा है कि जो वो इधर उधर के रास्ते पे लगे हुए हैं उन्हें सही रास्ते पर ले आना. एक ही फॉर्मूला, मैं बार बार रिपीट करता हूँ, अनिल जी आप सुनते रहते हो मेरे से बार बार, एक ही फॉर्मूला है पैसा बनाने का, एक ही फॉर्मूला है वेल्थ क्रिएशन का, वो है एसटीपी, साउंड इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लस टाइम प्लस पेशेंस, सही निवेश, समय और संयम या धैर्य। ये नहीं हुआ तो नहीं बनेगा। अब आपने ही सब रिपोर्ट पब्लिश करी है, 93% लोग एफ&ओ में लूज़ कर रहे हैं, पर ऐसा होता है कि जो आदमी खेल रहा है ना, उसको लगता है मैं 7% में हूँ, क्योंकि वो कोई कोर्स करके आए कैंडल स्टिक का या इधर उधर कुछ। बट धीरे धीरे लोग समझ जाएंगे, आप कितना खो सकते हो, धीरे धीरे समझ जाएंगे। सेम क्रिप्टो में होगा, सेम चीज़ गेमिंग ऐप पे होगी, और यहाँ लोग आते जाएंगे, तो ये 5 करोड़ निवेशक वाला नंबर बढ़ता ही रहेगा। तो यही हमारी जिम्मेदारी भी है, यही हमारी अपॉर्चुनिटी भी है।
5 करोड़ का नंबर बढ़ता रहेगा, एयूएम बढ़ता रहेगा, तो बैंक्स क्या करेंगे? उनको बड़ी टेंशन है, बोले सारा पैसा तो आप ले रहे हो उनकी डिपॉजिट से।
नहीं, पर हमारा जो पैसा है वो बैंक के डिपॉजिट के अंदर ही है। आशीष ने इतना बढ़िया आर्टिकल भी लिखा है इकोनॉमी टाइम्स में, कई जनों ने लिखा है कि हमारी पैसा आने से बैंक डिपॉजिट पर कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है। लता जरूर कवर करना है इसको आपके सेशन में। अगर आपने पैसा लगाया अनिल जी हमारे फंड में, तो आपका जहाँ बैंक अकाउंट है वहाँ से हमारे यहाँ आ गया। हमने अगर कोई शेयर खरीद लिया और सामने स्वरूप सेलर है, तो स्वरूप के बैंक अकाउंट में चला गया। स्वरूप ने और कुछ खरीद लिया तो वहाँ पैसा चला गया। बैंकिंग सिस्टम से पैसा कैसे निकल सकता है हमारे यहाँ आया हुआ?
आई थिंक जिस फॉर्म में बैंक्स को चाहिए उस फॉर्म में शायद नहीं मिल रहा हो, बट इन एनी उनको कासा चाहिए। इन एनी केस एक चीज़ और, माइक्रो एसआईपी की बात हो रही है। माइक्रो एसआईपी म्यूचुअल फंड्स के लिए फ़ायदेमंद है या नुकसान वाली चीज़ है?
और सेबी की वजह से जिस तरह से उन्होंने सारे स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, जो एमआईआई है, दूसरे स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, कैसे 250 रुपए की एसआईपी को वायबल बनाया जाए। ऐसा नहीं है, एक तो रेगुलेटर होते हैं कि भाई आपको करना पड़ेगा ऐसा, एक कोई भी एक डायरेक्टिव दे दिया कि करना पड़ेगा। आई थिंक वो बहुत मेहनत कर रहे हैं, इंडस्ट्री बहुत मेहनत कर रही है कि 250 रुपये की एसआईपी एएमसी ये सोच के करे कि अल्टीमेटली इसमें पैसा बनेगा एक टाइम बाउंड मैनर में। तो पूरी इंडस्ट्री बहुत मेहनत कर रही है और इसको हम आगे ले जाएंगे। तो 5 करोड़ से अगर 20 करोड़ निवेशकों तक ले जाना है तो वो ज़रूरी है कि उसका टिकट साइज़ थोड़ा सा कम हो जाए तो अच्छा रहेगा।
एक चीज़ और है जो रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स को लेकर है कि अब जितने नए डीमेट अकाउंट ओपन हो रहे हैं, जितने नए आपके भी म्यूचुअल फंड में इन्वेस्टर्स आ रहे हैं, वो बहुत छोटे शहरों से आ रहे हैं, ऐसे स्टेट से आ रहे हैं जहाँ पहले नहीं था। उत्तर प्रदेश, बिहार, ये सारे स्टेट्स हैं जहाँ पर सिर्फ एजुकेशन की कमी है। उन्हें ये सब पता है कि यहाँ अच्छा पैसा बनता है, इसलिए डालना है। ये जो एक्सपेक्टेशन मिसमैच है स्पेशली छोटे जगहों में, उसके लिए इंडस्ट्री क्या कर रही है?
एक्सपेक्टेशन मिसमैच में नहीं,
मतलब लोगों को लगता है कि बहुत पैसा बनता है, यहीं सारा पैसा डालो। मतलब मैं तो बोलता भी हूँ कि जो आजकल ऐसे इन्वेस्टर्स, ऐसे ट्रेडर्स हो गए जो 4 चीज़ें करते हैं, मतलब नौकरी छोड़, एफडी तोड़, सोना बेच, उधार ले और मार्केट में पैसा लगा। मतलब ये मैं इतनी जगह जाता हूँ, कॉन्फ्रेंसेज में ये सुनता हूँ, लोगों को सबको सीए करके रैंक ला के खाली ट्रेडिंग कर रहे हैं बैठ के, उनको इन्वेस्ट करना ही नहीं है। ये बड़ा चैलेंज इस वक्त इंडस्ट्री के सामने, हमारे सबके सामने है, सेबी के सामने भी है, हमारे मीडिया के सामने भी है। इन लोगों को कैसे ढंग से समझाना, भाई इधर पैसा बनेगा,
सीधा सा ये चारों छोड़ एसआईपी कर। वो एक ही तरीका है। तो इंडस्ट्री का काम तो यही है। बट आपने जो B30 का बोला ना, वो बहुत अच्छी बात है कि रेगुलेटर के सपोर्ट से इंडस्ट्री ने जो मेहनत करी इतने साल, टोटल इंडस्ट्री के AUM में करीब 18% इज़ फ्रॉम B30। बट इक्विटी का देखोगे तो आप ऑलमोस्ट नाउ 28-29% AUM जो है वो B30 का हो गया। अगर आप फ्लोज में देखोगे, जो नए फ्लो आ रहे हैं उसमें ऑलमोस्ट 35% B30 से आता है। अगर आप SIP की बुक देखोगे जो 23,500, अब ये मंथ का नंबर आएगा, होपफुली थोड़ी ज़्यादा होगी, उसमें ऑलमोस्ट 40% B30 का है। अगर आप फॉलियोज़ देखोगे तो ऑलमोस्ट 48% फॉलियोज़ अब B30 से आते हैं। और नई SIP के अकाउंट देखोगे, जो हर महीने नई SIP आ रही है, उसमें और 50% से ज़्यादा SIPs B30 से आ रही है। और कई लोगों को लगता है कि वहाँ पर तो फिजिकल है, लोगों को डिजिटल अवेयरनेस नहीं है, कैसे पहुँचेंगे। अगर आप फिनटेक्स की SIP देखोगे तो उनकी 60% से ज़्यादा SIP B30 में आती है। इसका मतलब ये है वहाँ पर डिमांड है, लोगों को प्रोडक्ट लेना है, थोड़ा सा पुल बन रहा है, जितने लोग पहुंच पा रहे हैं तो उसका फ़ायदा इंडस्ट्री को हो रहा है। पर ये बढ़ता चला जाएगा धीरे धीरे। और आपने सही बोला, अभी लोगों को लग रहा है पैसा बहुत इजी बन रहा है। पिछले 4 साल से बाजार ने बड़ा करेक्शन नहीं देखा है, तो F&O में आप बहुत जगह ट्राई कर रहे हैं। IPO का मैं तो मजाक में बोलता हूँ, कई बार लोगों को IPO ऐसा लगता है इंस्टेंट प्रॉफिट अपॉर्चुनिटी। मैं बोलता हूँ नहीं भाई, ये इनिशियल पब्लिक ऑफर है।
नहीं, आजकल तो वैसे मीम्स भी वही चल रहे हैं। किसी का सर ध्यान दीजिएगा, किसी बंदे को 100 टिकट मिल गए कोल्ड प्ले के, उसने SME IPO के लिए फाइल किया है। बोले मैं भी ले आता हूँ, इतने टिकट्स है मेरे पास में, वैसा हाल है। बट अच्छा, एक चीज़ और है जो हम भी हमारी इंडस्ट्री में फेस करते हैं, लता मैम है वो जानती है इस बात को, और ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमी के साथ लगभग सब जगह है टैलेंट क्रंच।
टैलेंट क्रंच नहीं है, मेरे को समझा नहीं है।
मतलब आपकी जनरेशन वाले फंड मैनेजर अब बहुत सीनियर हो गए हैं, नीलेश भाई वगैरह सर, लेकिन अब व्हाट नेक्स्ट? क्योंकि जिस तरह से इंडस्ट्री ग्रो कर रही है, लोगों को लगता है कि क्या वाकई में आपकी इंडस्ट्री 1 लाख, 1.5 लाख, 2 लाख करोड़ फंड संभालने के लिए तैयार है?
आप ऐसा क्या बोल रहे हो? मतलब हम लोग रिटायरमेंट के आसपास आ गए। मतलब 53, 54 में वॉरेन बफेट कितने 95, 97, चार्ली मंगर ऑलमोस्ट 100 होने वाले थे। हमारे तो 50 साल बाकी है इंडस्ट्री की सेवा करने के। सो कोई ना कोई रूप में रहेंगे। वो हमारे मतलब बॉम्बे चेंबर ऑफ कॉमर्स इज द ओल्डेस्ट बिजनेस चेंबर इन इंडिया। तो अपना ये सेकंड है ना कॉन्क्लेव, नीलेश भाई ने चालू किया था जब वो थे तभी। दूसरा है, तीसरा है अपना ही है। तो जो 50th वाला होगा उसमें हम दोनों रहेंगे पक्का।
नहीं, मैं खाली ये इंश्योर कर रहा था। मैंने नीलेश भाई के साथ करियर शुरू किया, आपसे 1 आध साल जूनियर रहा हूँ, तो मुझे मैं अपने करियर को लंबा करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ।
आपका पॉइंट बहुत सही है। आई थिंक जो इंडस्ट्री को निवेश करना है वो करना है, टेक्नोलॉजी में कंटिन्यूसली निवेश करना है। हम काफ़ी आगे आ गए। KYC आसान है। जिस तरह से हर चीज़, चाहे ट्रांजैक्शन करना है या अगर एक इन्वेस्टर अवेयरनेस के लिए, फॉर एवरीथिंग वी आर यूजिंग इट। वी आर, आई थिंक बिगेस्ट हमारा इन्वेस्टमेंट जो है वो ट्रांसपेरेंसी और ट्रस्ट में इंडस्ट्री में। बट टैलेंट बहुत ज़रूरी है। इंडस्ट्री 10 लाख करोड़ से आज 67 लाख करोड़ आ गई। ये 100 लाख करोड़ होनी है और 600 लाख करोड़ भी होनी है। मैं कई बार लोगों को बोलता हूँ हमारा जो साइज़ है वो 1980-82 के आसपास, आप US की लार्जेस्ट AMCs का साइज़ देख लीजिए, वो 50, 60, 70 बिलियन डॉलर की होती थी। लार्जेस्ट 4-5 AMCs, Fidelity, Capital, some of them. BlackRock was born in 1988 and now today $10 trillion. So we'll be same level 20-30 years later as India grows from 3 trillion to 20 trillion. Our size will exactly be what some of these guys were, and hopefully हम रहेंगे उस समय इंडस्ट्री में। So but इंडस्ट्री को टैलेंट में और टेक्नोलॉजी में इन सब में बहुत निवेश करना है। आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है।
So 3 साल में AUM डबल 1.25 लाख करोड़, 125 लाख करोड़।
वो डिपेंड करता है, बिकॉज बाकी इन्वेस्टर्स को आप बताते हो बाजार नीचे ऊपर है। वो अगर बराबर निवेश करते रह गए, चलते रह गए तो
हमारा बस चले तो रोज सुबह 9:15 बजे एकदम बॉटम पे खोल के 3:30 बजे टॉप पे बंद करें। लेकिन एक चीज़, चूँकि हमारा समय खत्म हो चुका है, एक जो आपके म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर जो थे उन्होंने सवाल पूछा था मनोज सर से, उस पर मैं अपनी एक ओपिनियन देना चाहता हूँ। मैंने 97-98 में म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन किया, तब शायद कोई बहुत कम लोग होंगे इस हॉल में भी जो करते होंगे। आपका कोई किसी से कंपटीशन है ही नहीं। मैं सबको म्यूचुअल फंड में एडवाइस करने की राय देता हूँ। हम उस ज़माने में SIP की बात करते थे 2000 के वक्त, जब SIP नहीं होती थी। मेरे पास आज भी 2 म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर है जिनके थ्रू मैं पैसा लगाता हूँ। मैं खुद अपने म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर के थ्रू लगाता हूँ, और इसलिए लगाता हूँ कि वो मुझे वैल्यू देते हैं, और साथ ही मैं डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट भी करता हूँ म्यूचुअल फंड में। जहाँ मुझे अगर लिक्विड में डालना है, आर्बिट्राज में डालना है, तो मुझे एडवाइज़र की ज़रूरत नहीं है, वहाँ मैं डायरेक्टली डालता हूँ। लेकिन अगर मेरा म्यूचुअल फंड एडवाइज़र, मेरा डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर अगर मुझे कुछ अच्छी एडवाइस दे रहा है, तो मुझे इसको पे करने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं। मैं अनिल सिंघवी होने के बावजूद मैं पे करता हूँ। तो आपके ऊपर है कि आप अपने कस्टमर से ला सकते हैं या नहीं। आपका डायरेक्ट प्लान से कोई कॉम्पिटिशन नहीं। जो सर बोले थे वो एकदम 100% सही है।
एक कंपटीशन में हमारी इंडस्ट्री के बताता हूँ, ये बहुत यूनिक है। पूरे विश्व में मेरे ख्याल में ऐसा कोई उदाहरण नहीं है। ये मैं और नीलेश भाई के दूसरी इंडस्ट्रीज़ को कभी कोई फोरम होता है जहाँ पर ये पॉइंट बताते हैं कि हम 44-45 प्लेयर्स बहुत बहुत कंपेटिटिव है। हम सब में बहुत ज़ील है कंपटीशन की कि भाई हमारा प्रोडक्ट अच्छा है, या हमारी सर्विस अच्छी है, या हमारा कंटेंट बेटर है, या व्हाटएवर। वी ऑल ट्रैवल ऑल द टाइम, वी वर्क वेरी हार्ड विद आवर पार्टनर्स, वी वर्क वेरी हार्ड ऑन एवरी एस्पेक्ट। बट एक यूनिक उदाहरण है कि हम सारे साथ में मिलके, the way we work in AMFI, all the 45 players together, we have our debates, we have fierce debate on many issues, but the way we work together in a collaborative manner with the regulator is a very, very unique thing. ऐसा जो उदाहरण है म्यूचुअल फंड सही है। हम कई दूसरे इंडस्ट्री फोरम में बोलते हैं दैट ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जो इंडिया में बढ़ने चाहिए, लेकिन आपको ऐसा कोई उदाहरण नहीं मिलेगा जहाँ पर पूरे 44 प्लेयर्स मिलके म्यूचुअल फंड सही है। तो एक बुक है परसुएशन, रॉल्फ डाबेली शायद किसकी है दैट परसुएशन, कि किसी को परसुएट कैसे करें. हमारी इंडस्ट्री ने किया है प्रीसुएशन. आप इंडस्ट्री का जो प्लेयर है वो परसुएट करेगा आपको प्रोडक्ट के लिए, लेकिन उसको एक प्रीसुएशन कर दिया, उसको तैयार कर दिया वो कॉन्वर्सेशन के लिए. म्यूचुअल फंड सही है, रिटायरमेंट के लिए निवेश करना चाहिए, बाजार में डटे रहिए, बाजार में वॉलेटिलिटी होगी, घबराइए मत, धीरे धीरे निवेश करिए, SIP के जरिए करिए. उसको एक कॉन्वर्सेशन के लिए तैयार कर दिया. उसके बाद इंडिविजुअल कॉन्वर्सेशन हर एक AMC हर एक प्रोडक्ट वाला करता है. ये बहुत एक यूनिक उदाहरण है.
Okay, our time is over. Thank you so much. Thanks for patient hearing. If we have to take any question or whatever.
Thank you, distinguished guest. I would like to request you to stay on stage. Request Ms. Pinky Mehta, President, to give away a token of appreciation. Before that, we can have a group photograph as well.
Thanks. Coming from a busy schedule.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, gentlemen, for your very enlightening discussion. We are going to have a chai pe charcha now, 10 minutes tea break for y'all. See y'all back in 10 minutes back here. We have another interesting session waiting for y'all. Thank you.